Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Babu Sunkara. Andarki Shubhodayam. This topic relates to international humanitarian law because law of war, law of peace, you might have studied in international law. Armed conflict, protection of the civilian population, all these buzzwords are there in international human law. Anyway, even though very recently the ceasefire was agreed to, as per our information, by between both the countries, Pakistan and India, but Pakistan is still doing some nonsensical activities. Somewhere they are bursting bombs, explosions, other things, which is against to the international humanitarian law. That's why I am taking up this topic. Otherwise, it's not that important. Only for international human rights. Human rights people, you can understand. International law people, you can understand. వాళ్ళ కోసమే వాళ్ళకు ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. అందుకని ఈ మాటలన్నీ మరలా చెప్తున్నాను. డెఫినెట్లీ ద రిటాలియేషన్ టు ఆపరేషన్ సింధూర్ ఏప్రిల్ 22 అనుకుంటాను. ఇట్ వాజ్ కండక్టెడ్ ఇన్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ మేనర్. ఏప్రిల్ 2 టు pahalgam అటాక్. సో దీనికి బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ మీ అందరికీ తెలిసే ఉంటుంది. pahalgam అటాక్ ఏప్రిల్ 22. దానిలో 28 males and 1 female Nepalese Indians, they were killed, massacred literally. దానిలో మా తమ్ముడి కొడుకు యొక్క క్లాస్మేట్ సోమశెట్టి మధుసూదన్ అని కావలతను ఉన్నాడు. అతని భార్య చెప్పిన విషయం చూస్తే హృదయం తరుక్కుపోతుంది. మన గౌరవనీయ డిప్యూటీ సీఎం పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారు కూడా వెళ్ళొచ్చారు, వాళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీకి సపోర్ట్ ఉంటామని చెప్పారు. ఇలా ఒక సంగతి మనకు తెలుసు. రెండో ఆయన స్టేట్ బ్యాంక్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా రిటైర్డ్ ఆఫీసర్ వైజాగ్. ఇట్లా ఎంతమంది వెరీ డిజాస్టర్ స్టోరీస్. Then definitely the government has to take action. That is resulted in Operation Sindoor, where they attacked on 9 militant hangouts, militant places. Okay, no doubt so many people died, militants died. Then the result is they retaliated, the war was declared, but luckily, maybe as the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump states, yes, due to his intervention, there was a ceasefire. The war was stopped between the two countries. Yes, it is a fact. The war was stopped between two countries. But still, Pakistan is retaliating and they are bombarding Indo-Pakistan border, particularly the states like Jammu Kashmir, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan. So drone attacks by Pakistan as a retaliation, and with the drone attack, definitely so many persons are being injured, so many persons are being they are dying. So this is nothing but an indiscriminate attack which is against to the principle of or the doctrine of proportionality. In the international, particularly you go to Geneva Convention 1949. So please remember this, they have to follow at the time of war, law of war and law of peace. At the time of war, they have to follow the principle of proportionality. That means they should not unnecessarily affect the civilians in the border states. Doctrine of proportionality is otherwise called as just war, JUST, just war. That means to ensure that, please remember, to ensure that minimum damage is done as a result of the war. And law and customs of war, particularly the armed conflict, where the international humanitarian law comes into aspect. I told you, of course not to you, 2 years back I told the international law. దానిలో చెప్పాను డొమెస్టిక్ జ్యూరిస్డిక్షన్ ఒక పక్క, ఇంటర్నేషనల్ హ్యూమానిటేరియన్ లా ఇంకో పక్క. సో మెయిన్లీ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ హ్యూమానిటేరియన్ లాలో మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ప్రొటెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సివిలియన్ పాపులేషన్ షుడ్ బి దేర్. దే షుడ్ నాట్ బి అన్నెసర్లీ టార్గెటెడ్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆర్టికల్ 23 and 25. Article 23 says the projectiles should not cause unnecessary damage, should not kill. Projectiles, you know, ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, presently drones, drone attack. They should not be used to cause the so-called projectile. They should not unnecessary damage. Where there is necessary, yes. ఇప్పుడు మనోళ్ళు చూడండి 9 places కరెక్ట్ ప్లేసెస్లో అటాక్ చేశారు. అలా చేయాలి. సెకండ్, ఆర్టికల్ 25. సో prohibitory attacks on the unnecessary of unnecessary proportionality. అనవసరంగా ఎక్కువ పెట్టి జనాన్ని ఇబ్బంది పెట్టకూడదు. రైట్. సో ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్, the protection of the civilians is very, very important in armed conflicts. That's why even the Red Cross people, they will be allowed even though the war is going on. Then Article 51 of the Geneva Convention specifically deals with the protection of the civilian population. So attacks not on a particular area. If it is necessary, you can attack. Otherwise, without discretion, without distinction, you should not attack the people. Bombarding different, no doubt, for military objects is okay. For other areas, it's definitely violation of the international humanitarian law. So therefore, the Operation SINDOOR was conducted on 7/5 and it is hailed by so many people. Of course, can't comment the people who will be other side. They will also be there. They will try to defend them. Okay, anyway, the entire country applauded the Operation SINDOOR, but still Pakistan is going for the unnecessary attacks, which is violation of the international humanitarian law or the law of war. So this video will be useful for the human rights students or international law students. So try to understand it. It will be beneficial for you. Thank you.